Hey there! If you've been dreaming of securing a U.S. green card, you might want to listen up, especially if you're from one of the 7 Asian countries we're about to discuss. 2025 is shaping up to be a game changer when it comes to U.S. immigration policies, and some countries are at risk of losing green card access altogether. So, if you're planning to move to the U.S. from Asia, you might want to rethink your strategy and prepare for what's coming. Why is this happening? Well, the U.S. government is tightening immigration policies, especially for countries that are dealing with issues like political instability, security concerns, and even fraudulent applications. Some nations have seen a spike in fraudulent visa applications, while others are struggling to meet the necessary documentation and security requirements that the U.S. expects. All of this has put these countries on high alert for losing access to the Green Card program in 2025. In this video, we're going to break down exactly which 7 Asian countries are most likely to face restrictions and the real reasons behind these changes. Countries like Sri Lanka, Syria, Iran, and Pakistan are among the top contenders, and the reasons behind these potential restrictions vary from economic collapse, wars, visa overstays, and background check issues. If you're from one of these nations, it's essential to stay informed and act quickly before the window closes. So, if you're wondering how these changes could affect your future in the US and what you can do to protect your chances of securing a green card, you've come to the right place. Stick with us through the video, and by the end, you'll know exactly what steps to take to stay on track. Don't forget to like this video if you found this information useful. It helps us bring more updates like this. And subscribe for more essential insights on U.S. immigration. You don't want to miss out on what's coming next. All right, let's dive deep into this highly critical and timely topic about the potential changes to U.S. immigration policies in 2025. If you're one of the many people hoping for a green card, especially if you're from an Asian country, you're going to want to pay close attention. The truth is that there are serious implications on the horizon that could drastically affect your plans to move to the U.S. The U.S. government has made it clear that tighter immigration controls are coming, and certain countries, especially in Asia, may find themselves cut off from green card access altogether. It's important to understand why these changes are happening, which countries are at risk, and how it could impact your chances of obtaining a green card in the next few years. One of the first countries on the chopping block is Sri Lanka. This nation, once known for its beautiful landscapes and thriving culture, has been in the midst of a devastating economic crisis for quite some time. Since 2022, the country has faced severe inflation, fuel shortages, and political instability, which have left many of its citizens searching for a better life abroad, with the U.S. being one of the most popular destinations. While it's understandable that people would want to leave a country that's struggling economically, the reality is that these crises have led to a surge in immigration fraud, which is raising significant concerns for U.S. immigration authorities. The U.S. has reported increasing numbers of fraudulent applications from Sri Lankans, including forged documents, fake job offers, and fabricated family connections. This spike in fraud is a serious issue for U.S. officials because it makes the vetting process much more difficult and time-consuming. Immigration officials rely heavily on accurate documentation to process applications, and when that documentation is forged, it not only delays the process but also raises red flags in Washington. The situation is made worse by Sri Lanka's political unrest, which has caused its passport ranking to drop, further intensifying scrutiny on applicants from the region. Because of these concerns, the U.S. government is considering placing Sri Lanka on a restricted list in 2025, potentially suspending or severely limiting green card issuance from the country. For those hoping to migrate from Sri Lanka, this news could be devastating, as it may close the door on opportunities for a U.S. green card. Now, let's move on to another country that is facing similar risks in terms of losing green card access: Syria. Syria has been embroiled in a brutal civil war since 2011, and the aftermath of this conflict has left the country's infrastructure shattered. Government institutions have collapsed, public records have been destroyed, and millions of people have been displaced. In the context of immigration, one of the most significant challenges for Syrian applicants is the lack of reliable identity documentation. In a situation like this, where central databases and record-keeping systems are non-functional, it becomes nearly impossible for U.S. immigration authorities to perform background checks on applicants. This is a huge problem because the U.S. immigration system relies heavily on being able to verify an applicant's identity, education history, employment records, and other essential details. But it doesn't stop there. The U.S. Embassy in Syria has been closed for years due to the conflict, which means that many Syrian applicants have to go through embassies in other countries, such as Turkey or Jordan. This extra step creates delays and inconsistencies in the application process, and without secure communication channels, it becomes even harder to verify the information provided by applicants. The result? A heightened sense of caution on the part of U.S. officials. As a result, many lawmakers in the U.S. are pushing for a complete suspension of green card access from Syria in 2025, especially in the absence of reliable documentation. While there may still be opportunities for refugees through humanitarian pathways, regular green card access for Syrians could be severely limited or even completely halted. For those who are genuinely hoping to start a new life in the U.S., this move could be heartbreaking. Moving forward, we come to Iran, another country where tensions with the U.S. have been ongoing for years. The relationship between the U.S. and Iran has been tense for decades, but in 2025, those tensions could finally lead to a suspension of green card access. The driving force behind this decision is national security concerns. In recent years, there has been a growing fear within the U.S. government that Iranian nationals may pose a security risk, particularly in the context of the ongoing nuclear negotiations and intelligence concerns. While most Iranian immigrants are professionals, students, or people looking to create a better life, a few isolated incidents involving visa fraud and political asylum abuse have cast a shadow over the entire community. These incidents have raised questions about the integrity of the green card process for Iranian nationals, and the U.S. government has taken notice. Furthermore, the lack of direct diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Iran complicates the green card application process. Since there is no American embassy in Tehran, Iranians must apply for green cards through third-party countries like Turkey or the UAE. This extra layer of bureaucracy can cause delays and create inconsistencies in the verification process, making it more difficult for U.S. officials to conduct thorough background checks. Iran's strict control over internet access and communication also exacerbates this issue, as it makes it harder for U.S. authorities to obtain reliable information about applicants. Given all of these complications, some U.S. lawmakers are calling for a complete pause on green card issuance to Iranian nationals in 2025. This would be a devastating blow to the thousands of educated, peace-seeking Iranians who dream of building a future in the U.S. To make matters worse, Nepal's lack of a reliable passport tracking system makes it difficult for U.S. authorities to verify applicants' identities and backgrounds. This has created opportunities for bad actors to manipulate the system. If the government of Nepal does not take immediate steps to improve passport verification and clamp down on illegal migration networks, the U.S. may suspend or limit green card allocations to the country in 2025. This would be a blow to those Nepali citizens who are genuinely seeking a better life in the U.S. But the actions of a few are jeopardizing the future of thousands. South Korea, despite its economic power and global influence, is not immune to scrutiny in 2025. In recent years, there has been an alarming rise in the number of South Koreans overstaying their visas or misusing visa programs, particularly students and workers. Some individuals have entered the U.S. on student or tourist visas and quietly stayed, taking jobs in businesses that operate under the radar. Others have exploited the green card system through fraudulent marriages or other deceptive means. This has raised concerns about immigration abuse and has prompted U.S. officials to take a closer look at the situation in South Korea. If these issues continue unchecked, South Korea may face restrictions on green card access in 2025, which would affect thousands of people who are legitimately trying to build a life in the US. Finally, we come to the United Arab Emirates UAE, a country you might not expect to be on this list, but one that could lose green card access in 2025 due to security concerns, visa compliance issues, and rising asylum claims. While the UAE is a wealthy nation, it has seen a growing number of its citizens overstaying visas or filing fraudulent asylum claims in the US. In addition, the UAE's geopolitical ties with countries like China and Russia have raised concerns about potential foreign influence or espionage, making it a national security risk. If the UAE doesn't take stronger action to address these issues, the US may suspend green card access for its citizens, which could affect students, business owners, and families hoping to reunite. As you can see, the road to securing a US green card is becoming more challenging for people from several Asian countries. If you're from one of these nations, it's more important than ever to stay informed about the changes coming in 2025 and take steps to protect your chances of obtaining a green card. If you found this information helpful, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss any important updates. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more vital information on U.S. immigration.